barbecues aren't just for big pieces of meat. So for this recipe, I'm going to use the MONOLITH Avantgarde. So I'm going to do a rotisserie celeriac, nice and smoky, with some char-grilled endive and a red pepper and sun-dried tomato dressing. Now, the first thing we're going to do is marinate the celeriacs. So for the marinade, I've got classic combination of rosemary and garlic, but I'm also going to add some sweet smoked paprika. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, and then some oil. So celeriac, it's quite an underused veg, especially on barbecues, but when you smoke it and you char grill it, you get this beautiful kind of creamy texture, but it picks up all those strong smoky flavors. Right, so we've got this marinated. You could leave that for a couple of hours quite happily. I'm going to cut it now and get it straight onto the skewers. So these look quite thick, but with this all-round heat that this barbecue kicks off, these are going to be cooked in no time at all. One thing you do need to do though is to cut them pretty evenly so it all cooks at the same time. So the good thing about the MONOLITH rotisserie is it's got multi-skewer capability, meaning you can have up to 7 skewers at any one time. Right, so we're up to speed temperature-wise, so let's get the rotisserie on. Now, this is the attachment, and it simply fits over the top like so, making sure this little notch is at the back, and then the skewers sit in here. Celeriac's on. I'm going to do the same with the peppers, and then you flick it on, and you can see they slowly rotate over the heat. Now, obviously we're using vegetables today, but these skewers would be perfect for cooking little bits of beef, bits of lamb, maybe a whole fish. Right, so to go with this, I'm going to char grill some of these bitter leaves, these endive. Now at this stage, these are really quite bitter, but I've got a nice little orange citrusy garlic dressing to go with it, and that's going to sweeten it. Look at that, see? So they're nice and evenly being turned, nice sort of charring all over it. The peppers are coming on nicely. Right, so for this bit, we're going to use this cast iron grill grate. This is going to give you those nice kind of bar marks that you associate with the sort of char grilling. But underneath, we've got this heat deflector stone, which means you're not going to get those direct flames. You're going to get that all-round heat, and it's going to cook the flesh of the endive, and you're going to get those grill marks and that nice kind of grill taste, but you're not going to burn them. Now for this recipe, we're going to keep the lid down, because in that way, you're treating it like an oven, like you would indoors at home, but you're also more in control of the amount of heat. So the red peppers have come off the rotisserie. Now you can see they're nicely charred. You can pull away a large portion of this. It doesn't matter if there's little bits left though. What's important, however, is that you do it in a bowl, because these peppers have got lots and lots of juice in them, and you want to collect all that juice. The whole point of this charring is to give it fantastic flavour. So don't be scared about what it looks like at this stage. It's all about the taste. Right, so when your pepper looks a bit like that, we need to blend them. So peppers in a blender. I've got a couple of cloves of garlic. This is a nice smoky chipotle chili. Now these come dried, so just soak it in a little bit of hot water. Just shake out those seeds, and then that whole thing can go in. And then in with these sun-dried tomatoes with the oil. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, a splash of red wine vinegar, and then blitz. Delicious. So the endive is nicely cooked, it's nice and soft, and you've got that very kind of mild charring, and that's all about the taste. It's the very kind of essence of barbecue. So the endive are cooked, we'll put those to one side. We're going to make a little dressing. So a bit of orange juice, salt, pepper. I've got a little bit of sherry vinegar, and then a little bit of olive oil. And then lastly, just a little bit more garlic. And then when you've got the taste right, just dress it to one side. Each of these elements, by the way, are delicious on their own, but we're slowly building lots and lots of different flavors. We've got the kind of the smokiness and the heat of the celeriac. We've got this nice sort of citrusy twang with the bitter leaves, and then finally we've got this punchy green dressing. So I'm going to use some chives, a little bit of tarragon, some capers, squeeze a lemon, a little bit of Dijon mustard, some vinegar and some oil. So give that a good mix. Careful as you season because the capers are quite salty already. Nice and punchy herb dressing. So now we're ready to plate. Let's take some of this smoky red pepper dressing, some of the endive, and then let's get the celeriac off the skewers. Then lastly, this little punchy dressing. And that is pretty much it. That's the rotisserie celeriac with the char grilled endive and the smoky red pepper and sun-dried tomato dressing.